Hello, everybody, and I am back. It's been a while since I've had an update. There have been so many things that have happened over the last couple of months. Had COVID, had some family stuff going on, and I just want to say, in terms of the cleanse, I will be perfectly honest. I totally fell off the wagon when I had COVID. I did not really pay attention or think too much about my uh, best way I could. I don't know. I just couldn't really focus on all that stuff. I just had to just let go, and to be, I guess, to be clear here, is my programming came out, and I sort of reverted back to just not really doing the things that I said I was going to do. And it's okay. I forgive myself for that. And I'm at a point now where I'm really getting back into the swing of things. Right now, I'm doing a ketogenic type of diet way of eating, which is feeling really good. Started by doing this thing called the snake juice cleanse or snake juice diet. I did it for 2 days. Essentially, no food, just water called snake juice. There's this guy on YouTube. You look it up, snake juice diet, and he's hilarious. I think he's hilarious. Some people say he's very aggressive, and he is. But videos crack me up. And the whole idea of it is based on fasting. So there was last week I did a 2 day fast. I didn't eat for 2 days. Just drank this kind of saltwater antioxidant electrolyte solution water. And that just immediately put me into ketosis. So I'm just doing ketosis, and I'm feeling really good about that. So essentially, that's the update on that. I just wanted to do a little video just to really bring in something that I've been thinking about in the last couple of days, more so, and feeling right now, which is this idea of unity, this idea of raising consciousness, and sharing a message that I have, I think, going forward in the world. I'm developing a new lecture. I had a lecture that I did in 2019 at the Human Origins Conference, all about ancient civilizations and what I would call the developing the pillars of the new paradigm. And what I mean by the pillars of the new paradigm, and the new paradigm is this new way of thinking, a new framework of our culture and how we answer the questions of who we are, why we're here, and how do we make the best of our lives. And we are in this big shift right now. I'm sure everybody can experience this in some way or another. Some people might call it the shift into the age of the Aquarius, or what people would call 2012 and the ascension, and all of these different changes in the field of energy. And civilization is going through this massive upheaval in economic structures and political structures and social structures, everything. So there's this huge precipice that we're in the middle of shifting into right now. And the pillars of the new paradigm, I've, in my previous lecture, over the last I guess 10 plus years, I've developed these new insights into, well, they're not really new, but these insights into these questions of who we are, where are we, and or why are we here, and what are we supposed to be doing. And the pillars of the new paradigm have to do with our perception of who we are in terms of life and death. Questions like, are life and death opposites of each other? And the answer is no, I don't think they are. It's really birth and death that are opposites of each other. They are included within the totality of life. So it kind of breaks free of this idea that, questions like, what happens to us when we die? And is death the end of existence? And the new paradigm, I think, as we start to move into it more, we're going to find out that these answers are not so much faith based anymore, which they have been. Religion was the real pinnacle of answering these questions of what happens to us when we die, and we have to have faith because there's this wall or this barrier. We don't know what's going to happen, so we have to make up stories and believe in the stories of others in order to really cope with this big unanswered question of what happens to us when we die. And I think when you start to really get into the inner evolution, soul journey, personal growth from within, all of these things that everyone has their own personal experience with, you find out really that death is not the end of existence, and that it's really just a transition. My mom used to tell me when I was younger something that I didn't really truly grasp until I was in college, which is this funny little saying. She would say, Alex, do you remember being born? And of course, I would, at the time, maybe 10 years old, I would say, no. And she would go, well, then what is death? And at the time, I'm like, Mom, that's just some 60s, you hippies don't, what does that even mean? But I think it's absolutely true is that death is a form of rebirth, and this whole idea of reincarnation, which has been seemingly exclusive to more of these Eastern traditions of spirituality. If you start to go deeper into what early proto-Christian tradition and Christian philosophy and spirituality was, Jesus, or Yeshua ben Hur, as he is really known as in these older stories, reincarnations was integral into this understanding, is that we are continuing our lives. This is the cause and effect, a relationship of karma, and this is the idea that death is not the end of existence, it's a rebirth. And the second one in this pillar is this idea that we are alone. That's a misperception. We are not alone. We are absolutely connected to everything. That's what quantum physics shows us, is that this is one big energetic network. Every human being sees itself as separate, but that is an illusion. But in fact, we are all one huge superorganism just witnessing itself through different mirrors of perception. And that's one of the big shackles that keeps us in this prison moment. That even further to make that more of a concept, it's like, are we alone on planet Earth? That's another misperception. And no, I don't think we are. I think there's more life out there than we care to imagine. Science and popular opinion is starting to really wake up to this reality that no, we're not alone. Even look at all those disclosure videos that have been released of flying saucers or the Tic Tac UFO. The military knows these things are happening, and that's a whole subject unto itself. But another pillar of this new paradigm is that we are not alone. We are connected. Everything is connected. And the third one, I mentioned the prison moment. The third one has to do with time. Time and the original perception of it as we have in this current culture and paradigm as we've got to this point is that time is linear, meaning that the past is behind us, that we're in the present, and we're moving forward into the future. You can't change the past. You can't see the future or what's really going to happen, and we're just kind of stuck in this moment of reliving the stuff from our past and hoping for the best. Questions like, does fate exist? Is it all random? And the new understanding is that it is not linear. Time is actually holographic. What is a hologram? Hologram is a three-dimensional projection of vibration, light, and sound. So if you think about it, instead of a straight line, time being, it's more of a three-dimensional sphere where it's not necessarily past behind you or future in front of you and you're just on this line. It's like we have this whole multiverse of potential experiences all existing at the same time. And there's this great movie that's out in theaters right now, and I've seen it 3 times already. It's called Everything Everywhere All at Once. And this movie just does such a great job at depicting what I'm talking about with this whole holographic time concept. And I think one of the best, most liberating features of this perception of time is that we don't actually have to change the world or change anything and do all this, oh man, I'm here in this place in my life and in the future I want to be like this, or oh, in the past I was like this. All you have to do is change your perception and you are already there. You have to imagine it like you're already there. I'm a certified Psyche facilitator, and this is one of the forms of energy psychology that allows you to reprogram your subconscious beliefs. And one of the important features of this philosophy, of this way of reprogramming your subconscious, is to think about language in the sense that you don't want to change your life. Oh, I want to be healthier, or oh, I want to have a better relationship, or I want a better job. When you say these things, you're temporally, in the framework of time language, reaffirming that you don't have it right now. You are not here right now. It's in the future. Oh, I want it. So the language, as in Psyche talks about reprogramming the way we use the language, is to affirm it as if you have it already. So that's the whole idea of holographic time, is that the past is not in the past. The past is just an experience that's happening right now. And if we change the way we view the past, we in effect change the experience of the past and the experience of the future, and ultimately changing your destiny. So anyway, this is just a little preview of some of the stuff that's in my lecture that I did back in 2019 and stuff that I'm developing now for a future lecture, which is going to be more on this type of subject matter. I said last time I did this lecture was about the Human Origins Conference. So there's information on lost civilizations and the origin of war and where did this illusion of separation originate at all. So there will be some of that in this new lecture, but it's going to be much more focused on this new paradigm, on bridging the gap within ourselves in this illusion of separation, and understanding the reality of wholeness, the reality of unity, and not throwing away the illusion of separation, recognizing that it is actually purposeful. There is a reason why we have this perception of separateness, of cause and effect, of yin and yang, of masculine and feminine, this, that, like everything can be broken down into these two separate, seemingly separate polarities. And a lot of people in the world of religion and just culture and science, everything, it's like, well, you have to make a choice. It's either one or the other, or, oh, this polarity is nonsense and we have to move away from it. Well, we don't want to throw away the baby with the bathwater, as they say. There's a lot of learning we can embrace from this experience of separation. The question is, do we want to live in that separation? And that is what my new lecture is really going to be going into more, is some tools and some stories about how we can learn from this experience and use that to build a new foundation, or a more complete and stable foundation to build our new paradigm on. So I didn't really know what I was going to talk about in this video. I just went along with the flow, and I'm happy to be back. There's going to be more videos like this going forward. I'm excited to have new guests on the podcast, on the Video Shaman podcast here in the coming months, and some really exciting new technology to share with you on how to embrace this new field of energy, how to work with the field of energy, health-wise, physical-wise, energy-wise, everything. So thank you so much for coming back and for liking this video. And if there's anything else that you want to hear about, or anything you'd like to share, I highly encourage you to leave a comment down below. So thank you so much, and peace and blessings be with you, as we will talk further about later. Peace up. Peace up to you. Take care.